7 games left in the season. We're still 2 points behind Antequera. The good news is we're playing 2 teams today that just aren't very good. The bad news is we're playing 2 teams that just aren't very good, which means with my luck, we'll throw at least one of these and put ourselves even further behind. Antequera's schedule, though, is a little bit rougher. So I'm hoping this is the episode we catch up to them and then move ahead. Also, I think I finally got the spreadsheet issues fixed, and we'll take a look at that as well. My name is FM20, and this is Time to Get Réal, Episode 7. So yeah, I'm still stumbling and fumbling my way through the intro and stuff like that. I haven't found something that flows really well, and I tend to do a lot of this off the cuff. As you know, it's patently obvious. There's just no 2 ways to look at it. Last time we met was the Antequera game, because I played it and then I said I'm done and I walked away. And then we played Almeria and we won 3-0, shut them out thanks to goals by Martin. And then Frank No had an own goal for Almeria that really did not help them. They were really pushing in the second half, and then that own goal just took the life out of them. They just stopped playing, essentially, and we waltzed our way to a 3-0 victory. We were then away at Porcuna, and we won thanks to a Miguel Martin penalty kick. He actually hit it. And then we played Huaytor Tahar. Oh, this is going to be fun. And we beat them 2-1. They scored in the first minute, and it was opening kickoff highlight. And it was one of those, you're like, good grief. You know, they're a good team, but they're not a great team. It was one of those cases where it was like, holy cow, we're really in for it. But no, Mohamed Mizian and Clemente both scored goals to give us the victory. Almeria B. This was annoying. Barrera got sent off on a straight red card right before the end of the half. And we had a 2-0 lead. We were a man down the second half. I think I screwed up and I went to cautious. I should have stayed balanced, or I should have stayed positive. I almost always play on attacking because why not? And Sanchez got a goal in the 49th minute, and then they equalized. And he got a goal in the 72nd minute to equalize, and we got the draw. This is what's put us. Until this point, we were neck and neck with Antequera because they drew, and this is the game that put us 2 points behind. Today, we're going to be playing Melilla and Velez. They are not the best teams in the league. Melilla is in the relegation zone and is going to get relegated. It's just a matter of math. Velez is just outside the relegation zone. They're safe. You know, the team is happy. They're giving me a C. I still don't have a ton of support. Javalila's fallen off a little bit. But Miguel Martin leads us 21 goals. Juanma Espinoza, a 7.46 rating. Armero, 10 assists. De La Calzada, the best pass completion rating, which you would expect out of your keeper. Espinoza, 8 players of the match awards. Ramon and Mateos both have 7 yellow cards. Barrera's had 2 red cards this season, which is just frustrating. Anybody who's watched my saves know that for whatever reason, my teams tend to be yellow card machines. And this one isn't. Only 37 yellow cards this season. Usually by this point in time, it's like triple that. I mean, at Milan, for Forza Milan, we had triple-digit yellow cards every season. But the red cards are just annoying. Our 66 goals lead the league. Our 33 goals allowed our 5th best. 37 yellow cards, 3 red cards. And our attendance is first in the league at 4755, which is about a third of our stadium size. You know what? Let me go do this real quick. Oh, that was mildly annoying. This is the team in January of 20. I talked about this last episode. As you can see, my older players are starting to fall off in the physical areas. The thing I did get fixed this time around is, and let me, where'd it go? Essentially what happened was I had a corrupted spreadsheet the last time. I've been fooling around with it, and I did something, and it just decided not to work. And so I had to go back to the original one and copy and paste stuff in. But you will see now, I did get the attribute analysis working. So this is Jose Pedro Figueroa, who is just a youth player. One of the things that I like about this page is that you can see a direct correlation between their improvements. And then the other thing I was talking about is down here at the bottom. So this is Figueroa in October. This is him in January. You can see his improvements here across the board. And then if for whatever reason, say like this falls back down to a 4, this will go red. And then, you know, as a training tool, this is great because if you have a player and you've been training him in the same area for like a year and he hasn't increased his number, chances are high that's as good as he's going to get. So you focus your training on something else. And I had to recreate the calc window in OBS, and then I realized I put it above my my camera window here, so I wasn't in that last part, which, you know, is probably a net positive as the way things go. But one of the things I am still working on, let me get back to the calc sheet here. This is something I find useful, especially when you are on a club on the up and up, and you're trying to figure some stuff out. This is from my Bastia save when I really first started using this. So what this is, let me do this here. So what this is the schedule for that year when I was playing Bastia. We had just been promoted, and no, we had, this was our first season in League 2. And so what we have is the media's predicted finish, and then what I do, and this is something I'm planning on doing next season, no matter where we are with high-end, is I color-coded the teams. The teams at the top are red. Those are going to be the toughest teams to play. Teams in the top half are blue, teams in the bottom half are yellow, teams that got promoted are green. Teams that are green, we should have a better than even chance of beating them home and away. The teams that are yellow, it's not so much. The teams that are blue, yeah, we could beat them, but we're going to need some help. The teams that are red, we shouldn't expect to beat them unless they just happen to fall off a cliff. You'll see I've got projected finish here, their actual finish here, and if I sort by this, if I sort by the actual finish, you can see that, well, we won, even though we were predicted to finish 16th with Bastia. It was a really good season for us. For the most part, the media predictions are pretty good. The teams that were picked to finish last mostly finished last. You have one team in Tours that had a really good season. They were recently promoted. They finished mid-table. The teams that were finished to pick top of the league finished pretty near the top of the league. The one surprising team, other than us, was Concarneau that season. They were picked to finish 12th, and instead they finished 7th. It also tracks home and away points. And in order to show you that, we're going to go over here, and then actually down to here, because this was our first season in League 1, and I did the same thing. And then what you have over here is your schedule. Now, this is a lot of behind-the-scenes work the first time you do it. And then getting the conditional formatting right to get these color-coded. And then you have your venues, home and away, your draws, your losses, and then it tracks your point totals. So you know how much you need to avoid relegation. And then as you go along, you know, if you're above your expected points needed in order to avoid relegation, you're in green. If you're below your expected points needed, you're in red. If you're equal, you're good. The nice thing about this is a really, and then you have, well, then here you have the days in between games. And this almost always changes, especially when you're a top club and you start getting into international football, because there will be weeks where you have 3 games in 4 days, not 3 games in 4 days, unless you're playing like in India or somewhere place like that, where we've seen that with like Loki save as an example. You're going to have 3 games in 9 days. And this here it's a strength of schedule visual aid, for lack of a better term. If you're playing here, like, you know, say you're coming up and you have a Nantes game and you know you're playing Lyon next, and then you got Amiens after that, and you know Amiens is one of the worst teams in the league. You say, okay, you can maybe play a mixed squad against Nantes. You play your first teamers against Lyon, and then you play your second teamers and your best reserves against, or you play your first team against Lyon, and then you play your second teamers and your bench players against Amiens, because that team on paper or spreadsheet should be good enough to beat them. So the thing that I got ahead of myself on was that I tried putting in my European competitions and figuring out a way to exclude them from the calculations over here, and it made a mess of things. And the other thing that was going on was calc does not like the conditional formatting changes. As an example, I can get the conditional formatting on here done. So, you know, say I put this as a draw, this is a loss, this is a loss, and then, you know, say we go on a win streak. And so you'll see it figures out our running points total and then our points needed in order to avoid relegation, which in League 1 at the time was 41 points. This is actually historical. I remember going back and looking at 15 past years of League 1 and the number of points you needed to avoid relegation, which came out to, I want to say it was the 30... 39, I want to say. 38 or 39. It was one of these ones here. And so, actually, no, it may have been the 40. So you needed 40 points in order to avoid relegation more often than not. You did have your odd seasons where teams did really well and you got relegated with like 43 points, but those were outliers. But anyhow, that's what's coming next for the spreadsheet. I just have to sit down and get the time to do it because, like I said, this part here, it's a lot of behind-the-scenes work to get it done and get it working right. But once you get it done and get it working right, the next time you do it, this takes maybe 2 or 3 hours to set up. I'm sure people who code better and are better typers than I am would get it done faster. But the first time, for me anyways, this takes about 2 hours to set up. And then once you have it set up, the next time you do it, takes about maybe 10 or 15 minutes, depending on how much formatting you have to do. I'm still working on the budget, things like that. It's been an interesting week here. People who watch the series know I live in Kansas City. I'm a Chiefs fan. We won the Super Bowl, so I did not go to the parade. The weather was cold, and I got caught in the Royals parade fiasco in 2015. They weren't expecting the crowd they were expecting. The city was not prepared for it. And having friends that work in the city government here, they said, if you have a chance to stay home, stay home. So I stayed home with my kids and worked from home, which was nice. Let's do this real quick, just in case I screwed anything up. And then back to the attribute analysis here. So, and, I use this more than anything else just to see how my players are improving. And going forward, we'll be spending a lot of time on this. Back to the screen here. We are playing Velez next. No, we're playing Melilla next. So I'm going to forward to that game. We got a couple days, I believe. Yeah, we got like 4 days. Set my best 11, check the reserves, and we will come back for that match in just a bit. And this is why I stopped stopped recording 4 days before the game. I can't believe I missed this. We had our youth intake. Miguel Perez stands out as one of the better players. 3.5 star current potential. Considering the team we are and where we are, this is not a bad youth intake. We've got 4 players with some decent potential. So we're going to take a look at those. First up is Santiago Tejada, a defensive midfielder, 16 years old. Says he plays a ball-winning midfielder. That's actually really good. If he could be retrained as a ball-winning midfielder instead of a defensive midfielder, that would be nice. Skills-wise for a ball-winning midfielder, he's actually really good right now. 9 marking, 11 tackling, good positioning, work rate, determination is fabulous, aggression is nice, anticipation is nice. Physically, pretty solid, star and a half current ability. He'll get some playing time on the youth squad. Ismail, goalkeeper, which we need. Not bad. I'll be honest, I'm not as up to speed on the goalkeeping attributes as I should be, but this strikes me as actually fairly good. If I was to compare him, this is De La Calzada now, and he's 3-star, and that's, that's a bad comparison to make, to be honest. If we compare him to, yeah, Canas is my current backup. He's not bad. I'm not going to say he's the goalkeeper of the future, because 2 or 3 years down the road, I'm expecting to be in the next division up, if not the division beyond that. Sorry, my wife came in, it was Girl Scout cookie pickup day, and she's out in the garage sorting, and she needed my help. So, where was I? He's good. In a couple years, he might get some starts if he's still here. I don't know that I would call him goalkeeper of the future, because in the future, I'm expecting to be at least 1 division higher. And as we know, these star ratings are for this level of competition. Miguel Perez, who they're all excited about, star and a half current ability. Defensive left back, also plays an okay right back. Full back. He's not bad for this level of football. And again, they're all youth players, so they're going to get better. The work rate's nice. The teamwork's nice. The determination's great. Decision-making's nice. Anticipation, aggression, bravery's nice. Physicals are okay. He and Ismail strike me as players who will have solid careers at, the tier 2, tier 3 level. Lorenzo Bonilla, midfielder, ball-winning midfielder. Nice. Nice physicals, good mentals. Determination solid. Nice aggression. Again, a project for the future, 17 years old. A good player for this level of football should he fulfill that. So, we got a guy from Serbia. How do we get a guy from Serbia? A striker, no less. It's not bad, but it's not good either. Do I have a Serbian coach on the squad? Andorra and Spain. Okay, that's just really kind of odd. We got a Serbian youth. We got a kid from Serbia as part of our youth intake, but And it's not the strangest thing that's happened this save. You know, and frankly, it's early in the save too. Stranger things will happen. So, back with the game in just a bit. This is like the first time in a while I've done this. I completely forgot to hit record on the game. And it was a really good game. And we won. And Antequera lost. And as a result, we're now a point ahead. And I was so excited and so happy. And I said, I'm going to show you my training, how I do training, and then we're going to forward ahead to the next game. And I went over to OBS to stop recording, and I realized I never started recording. So, yeah, YouTube Sunday Amateur Player. Yikes. So, anyhow, training-wise, and I have to set this up for the rest of the season here, what I like to do, at least at the lower league level, these are my games coming up. After every game, you go in, you put in a match review. What this does, it's essentially sitting in a room reviewing the game. You know, in lower leagues, maybe they put it up on a screen in the 16 millimeter. In the upper leagues, you know, it's all, hey, here's a 3D computerized view because of the equipment you're wearing. But what this does, team cohesion is increased, tactical familiarity is increased. You do this after every match because, frankly, why wouldn't you? You're doing recovery. You got match review. It doesn't do anything in terms of tiring your players out physically. Maybe it will mentally, but you know, you're not putting any more physical stress and strain on them. Control possession. For the most part, what I tend to do is, it's probably going to take off the match review stuff here. Yeah, and it changed it. So I'm going to do the basic ones here in terms of training styles. So possession, defense, attack, and then back to possession. I really don't switch around too much going into the nitty gritty stuff. Oh no, this one's going to be control possession because that's the style we play. So tactical style, control possession. Set these back up again real quick. Now, I know there are a lot of people out there who fill in all the available areas they can. I tend not to do that because, frankly, we're a small club. Our medical staff isn't the greatest. Our players do have an injury history. But what I always try and do is we get one goalkeeping in, one set piece in, and then depending on when the game is and what we're doing before the game, I might do another goalkeeping thing. But what I tend to do is go down the line. So I did shot stopping last week with goalkeeping. Well, this week we'll do handling. And then this week we'll do one-on-ones. And this week will be distribution. In terms of set piece, if we're lacking in an area, I will take off one of the, well, what I will do usually is take off like the basic defending and put in a specific set piece. But for the most part, the ones I concentrate on, at least on this level, are delivery, defending corners, attacking corners, and then it goes back and forth between attacking free kicks and defending free kicks. Every once in a while, I will throw penalties in there, but you know, if I have a guy who's missed 5 of his 10 chances, yeah, then I'll throw that in there. But most often than not, it's defending corners, attacking corners, and set piece deliveries. Let me save this here real quick, and then when we come back, it will be our next game against a team whose name I'm totally forgetting. Back in a bit. Well, my board rating went to a B+, so it's obviously got to be something to do with the fact that we weren't in first place. We were playing Velez. I can't believe I forgot that name because it's a name I actually recognize, but don't ask me where, which I realize makes no sense. It's a home game for us. We got a decent crowd, and let's see if we can increase our lead over Antequera. We got De La Cosada in goal, Barrera, Clemente, Lucero, and Mateos as the defensive Lucero and Mateos as the defensive back four, Espinoza and Hernandez as the midfielders, Armero and Jabalilo as the attacking midfielders, Martin and Wonka up top as the strikers. Barrera up to Espinoza. Clemente. Oh, long pass to Jabalilo. Gets by the defender. Off the... Oh. I see. I can understand why he took the shot. He had help there, but it wasn't the best of help. Not a lot happening during the week. A couple minor injuries, tight hamstrings, 1 to 2 days sort of thing. That's pretty much it. Vergara. Dispossessed. Jabalilo. Cuts inside. I have no idea what that was. Yay, new match engine. Okay. Armero on the throw-in to Barrera. To Espinoza. Dispossessed, but it goes back to Barrera. Espinoza. Across the box, Hernandez. Back to Espinoza. Out to Mateos. He crosses it in. Oh, Wonka's there, and he heads it off the crossbar. Velez is playing back, it looks like. And they're just expecting us to come to them. Oh, and another header blocked by the Velez keeper, Buba. Is Antequera not playing today? Antequera's not playing today. They're probably playing. Oh, yeah, they are. And they're up. Coming up on half. Barrero on the throw-in. Armero sends it in. Hernandez is there, and he pushes it just wide right. Good effort by the midfielder. And we are thoroughly dominating Velez. We got nothing to show for it. 15 shots, 3 on target, 2 fouls. Slight possession, negligible possession advantage, I should say. And Antequera is a goal up. We need Porcuna, Atletico Porcuna, or Porcuna, to equalize. We need to score is what we need. 60 minutes in. Oh, unreal. Armero is on a 6-2. We are going to bring on Vela. We're going to bring on Mizian for Wonka. Change him and Martin. Tell the guys to get creative. Espinoza from just outside the box. In the crowd, and who was that? Jabalilo with a header. Oh, Lucero. I saw the Jabalilo name pop up. Espinoza sends it in. In the crowd, Lucero. Holy cow, this is going to be a fun series with my pronunciation. And we are back in first place. Corner kick in. Espinoza. Knocked away. Clemente is going to run that down. Hernandez. Back to Clemente. To Vela. Gets by one defender. Oh, nice effort, but pushes it just wide right. Barrera on the throw-in to Vela. Bounces it off of a Velez player. Espinoza saves it. Hernandez taps up to Mizian. Shot off the post. Wow, what a rocket. That would have been a great goal. And God, we eke out a 1-0 victory on 27 shots at target to their 1-1. Jeez. And Antequera won, so they're still a point behind us. We're going to need some help. We are playing... I'm totally clicking on the wrong thing here. Oh, you know what? Let me write this down here. Malaga, Waiter Vega. Marcena and Linares. Something tells me that Linares game is going to be key. Antequera is playing Torprojol, who is relegated. Waiter Tajar, Elegido, and Loja. So, Linares is currently in third. Marcena is currently in... Marcena is currently in seventh. Waiter Vega is currently 14th. Malaga. Is that Malaga B? Malaga B, currently in 5th place. They're playing relegated Torprojol. 6th place, Waiter Tajar. 4th place, Elegido. And 16th place, Loja. So we're playing 5-14, 7-3, and they're playing 26, 4, and 16. I say they have a slightly better chance. So we are going to come back for the Linares game for sure. And if it's down to these last two games, we'll come back for both. So, a couple of good wins for us today. God, the Velez game was just frustrating. The Melilla game was even more frustrating because it was a great game, great commentary, and I didn't record it. Jeez. But, we'll get this done today, then we'll get to the summer transfer window. I'm going to try and get 3 or 4 episodes recorded today, which is why you won't see the shirt change. However, the room will get darker as the sun goes down. And it's going down on this season, too. We've got a slim lead over Antequera. We need to stay healthy. We need to stay on top. We need good performances like we got today. I mean, today we did get good performances. The scores just don't reflect it. So, that said, if you did like what you've seen or heard, please have a like, subscribe to the channel for more content. Questions, criticisms, comments, leave those down below. I will answer those as fast as I can. I am FM20.